twice in one day live. What is the occasion? So progressing on different parts. I sanded the gauntlets, and those have been primed. They're currently drying, and we'll see if I need any more Bondo on those, but I think they're pretty much good to go. Maybe just a little bit of sanding. The helmet. So I have started on the slashes. Basically just filed those out. I'm going to come through and do an initial black wash on this, and then put some rub and buff in here just to make it look silver. So yeah, that's where we're at. Black wash is just going to be a standard black acrylic watered down paint that you just got really close to. And then I just dab it off the paper towels. It's a simple process, but I find it's the most effective to me. Weathering, I feel like, is, you know, really where you kind of bring these pieces to life. So this is the fun part to me. And you can't really mess this up, you know? Sometimes I dab, sometimes I wipe. And you want it to get into those little crevices and cracks and kind of, you know, pull up there. That just adds to the authenticity. Sound off if you join. I'd like to know who's here. We shall talk. This is the way I've spoken. So I'm building Skirata here. This is a commission build for a friend of mine that is in the 501st. And he's going to get an additional costume with this one. Skirata was a Mandalorian commando, a friend of Jango Fett. And he trained the clone army. So he was a bit of a bad. And it will usually take several passes of this to really get it starting to look kind of looking like I want it to. But you're just wanting to simulate, you know, the years of dust and dirt accumulation just by doing it with paint. This is a black wash. What's going on, Happies? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Looks great. I appreciate it. Wait till I start to get the rub and buff in here and just really add the accents to it. That's where it really, really starts to take off, because you can just rub and buff all along these seams, and it'll kind of make it seem like it's metal. Pretty cool. Get a little bit more black paint to this. Oh, that's better. What's going on, Ike? Yeah, I'm getting to the point. I'm going to add the scratches here in a little bit. I've already kind of scratched them in, but I'm going to make them a little bit more legit with some rub and buff. So you've come at a good time for the weathering. And it just, I don't know if you can see that, but that just makes it look real. You know, it makes it look real from what looked like, you know, a painted prop. Now it's taken on a little bit more life. Okay, said I wasn't unconnected for a moment. I hope nobody lost me. Lost me. Almost done with the black wash, and then we'll go on to the rub and buff, which is really where the fun starts, and kind of make it really look like a real piece of helmet and not a real piece of plastic. All right, so right there I've got the slots of the helmet. I filed them out, and so I need to come in with some rub and buff, which this is basically just a polish. And you literally do exactly what it says. You rub it in there and kind of buff it out, and it looks like metal. And this comes in multiple different colors. I've got this silvery, I've also got a gold. There we got one. Let's see for some edges here. People just joining me, I am weathering this Cal Skirata bucket. It's a commission work for a buddy of mine out of the 501st in Mobile, Alabama. He's already got a couple costumes, and this is going to be another one for him. So Cal Skirata, Mandalorian Commando, was friends with Jango Fett and was generally just a badass. He helped Jango train the Clone Army, Grand Army of the Republic. And here I'm just kind of going along the edges here and giving a little metal to the places where the paint is chipping away, just to give it like a slight metal tinge. You feel like the paint rubs away. And it, just shows a little bit of the viscar underneath. But it really brings these flat items to life. So, getting much closer. I'm gonna let that dry, and I'll probably come through with a little more black dry brushing to give those scars a little bit more of a kind of accent, a little more dimension. But I want to let that wax dry, the rub and buff. So I feel like we're getting much closer to where I want to be on this. I don't know. What do y'all think? You were summoned, Vader. Lord Vader. I think we're getting much closer to something I'm very satisfied with. And I'll be able to pop that visor in there. Little mesh goes underneath here in the back. So I think we're getting close. Very, very, very close. And then all we're doing now is really waiting on a little bit of Velcro, because I want to paint all the rest of the pieces together. I have to go out and buy a couple more cans of that sand gold that I've got for this. I want to paint it all at once, and I gotta wait so I can get the Velcro on there. I think it's gonna be about a week before I get the Velcro, but then that'll give me time to finish up the gauntlets, to sand these down here on the knees, and we're ready to go on those. Almost done with both of these. Gotten padding glued on the inside of these, and these are the thigh pieces that I created. So yeah, we're really getting very, very, very close to finish. Let me go check on the gauntlet pieces real quick. I've got them drying. 1 second. I'll be right back. So yeah, these are pretty much done. Just need a light sanding on them, and they'll be ready to go. Let me get this out of the way. Ding. Pretty much ready to go. I got a hinge that I purchased that will go on both of these, because it calls for it. Against my better judgment, because it's going to create a gap there, but what the hell. So it calls for a hinge there. It'll be hinged, and we'll be ready. That's how we do. That's how we do. So yeah, we're getting really, really, I know I keep saying that, we're getting really close, but we're getting really close on this one. Just stages now. Stages of creating, drying, letting it wait. But I don't expect it to take much more than a month to get this done. So Cody, this will be like a Christmas present for you. Just in time. Just in time. All right, so that's twice in one day. I hope y'all enjoyed that. It's a little bit of weathering. One more time, I'll show you kind of where we're at with this. Still a little bit of work to do on these. yeah, I'm very pleased with where we are at right now. Very pleased. Cal Skirata. It's a Cal Skirata commission build for my boy Cody. So hope y'all enjoyed this. If you did, give me a like, subscribe. You might like this stuff. Who knows? As always, I'm Darth Rage. This is Darth Rage Reviews, your source for the Force.